The Texas Longhorns have finally fought their way back into the top 5, but with that one loss against Kansas State are sitting behind 3 undefeated teams, all from different conferences. The Longhorns still have an outside shot at getting into the national championship picture, depending on how things play out. With one game to go, if Texas wins today by virtue of the tiebreaker over Baylor, the Longhorns would win the Big 12 championship. But with UTEP, Oregon, and Ohio State sitting ahead of them in the BCS standings, they're going to need at least 2 of those teams to lose. And at the end of today's episode, we're going to take a look at how each of those teams fares in their conference championship games. So at the end of today's episode, you will know whether the Texas Longhorns, first of all, win this game and are able to, or not, clinch the Big 12 championship. Secondly, you're going to find out if any of those teams ahead of Texas loses, opening the door for Texas, and then ultimately we're going to go ahead and advance and show you exactly where the Longhorns end up. Will they get a shot at a repeat back-to-back national championship, or are they going to be left out of the national championship picture due to a loss perhaps in this game, or maybe even more heartbreaking, a win in a Big 12 championship, but an unfortunate outside looking in perspective when it comes to the BCS by virtue of 3 undefeated teams sitting ahead of them. But first things first, the Longhorns taking on Texas Tech, who have driven down the field on the opening drive of the game. This is going to be senior day for the Red Raiders. And the Longhorns defense, led by many seniors, is able to hold the Red Raiders to just a field goal. Texas with the ball going to Chris Warren, the top 5 Heisman candidate. Also led on offense is Texas by Tyrone Swoops, the senior quarterback who gets hit hard. Hopefully he's okay. He coughs up the ball. The fumble is scooped up by Steve Smith, the freshman defensive lineman, and Texas Tech is right back down inside the red zone, now inside the 10, looking to finally get a touchdown on the board. They came up empty, and there was another shot, and they come up empty yet again on the touchdown side of things. So only 6 points to show for 2 drives inside the 5. Texas going to the air on their second possession. Lorenzo Joe with a 20-yard grab. Tyrone Swoops not taking a hit there. A little bit later, running the triple option. Swoops, he makes the correct read, runs it up inside. Probably could have got more yards, decides to go with the pitch. But then on 3rd and 11, makes a nice pass to John Burt, who unfortunately gets tackled short of the first down, brings up 4th and inches. Swoops runs the read option. This time, he does the smart thing and slides in safely at second base. It's a first down, not taking a hit, and he's not going to fumble the ball. Now 1st and 10. A toss up to the left, and look at the acrobatic catch. John Burt from 24 yards out. What an incredible touchdown catch by number 2. He had man coverage, and he just skied with one hand. He didn't have to catch it with one hand. The defender hadn't even turned around yet, but he's trying to get himself on the highlight reels. An incredible touchdown reception there by Burt, and that's going to put the Longhorns up 7-6. The Red Raiders looking to respond now at midfield. About a minute into the second quarter, a little bit of pressure. Caleb Blewett scoops up the fumble. I'm not sure if that was perhaps Malik Jefferson, the stud sophomore linebacker. Yes, it was, coming on the blitz from the outside, punching it out with his left hand. A pretty vicious tackle there, sets up Texas nicely. And Swoops, once again, learning from that early mistake, not going to fumble. He takes his yards and slides down safely. A few plays later, Armani Foreman was running the slant but adjusted with the tight coverage, and Swoops laid it out nicely by the sideline. But then on 4th and 5, a triple option. The offense looked confused. I think Texas kind of panicked there. They probably should have just went for the points. Instead, opted to go for the score and came up with a horrible misexecution there. Hoping now to just pin Texas Tech deep and possibly get the ball back and come back down the field to score again. Pat Mahomes back to pass on 3rd and 9. That one should have been caught. Was dropped, and Texas does get good field position now in the pistol formation. We haven't seen this all year. The read option. Swoops keeps it. Is he going to pitch it? He's got blockers in front of him. He sheds a tackle, and he's rode into the end zone from 28 yards out. The first time the Longhorns have showed that formation all year, and it's 1-for-1 on touchdowns. Perhaps they should have went to that one a little bit sooner on the season. 14-6 now the score with just under 2 minutes to go. Texas Tech. Oh, and Thompson can't haul in Mahomes' pass. Having a bad day statistically is Mahomes, 10 for 21, but he's not getting much help. That's a couple of big drops. And here Texas with a drop of their own. That probably should have been intercepted by Chris Boyd. Yeah, it was a good deflection, but unfortunately that one should have been going the other way. Texas either way gets the ball back with 1.5 minutes to go. Swoops trying to lead him down the field. He finds the speedy Lorenzo Joe on a play action. That's for 22 yards. Gets him across midfield. Now 2nd and 10 with 1 minute to go. Plenty of time to get into field goal territory, possibly more. John Burt gets a nice 12-yard pickup. Just dinking and dunking, picking it up in chunks. 20 seconds to go. Clock's ticking on 3rd down. Devonair Clarington, a sweet little 3rd down route. Swoop standing poised in the pocket. The slant route this time to Armani Foreman down to the 5 with 15 seconds. The clock's ticking now inside of 15. Swoops, he keeps it. He spins and turns his back to the defender. If you're going to get a clean shot on him, he's not going to fumble the ball in that instance, but they couldn't even get the solid tackle. And the Longhorns are able to run it in to the end zone and take it to the half with a 21-6 advantage, and they get the ball first. A couple of punts back and forth by both squads. Nothing showing for it offensively. Texas with the ball now. A pass to Devonair Clarington gets him down into Red Raider territory. Back with that full house pistol formation again. Not a lot of blockers in the backfield for the Longhorns, but with misdirection and deception can possibly open up some lanes. And right there, Chris Warren's able to pick up a nice 1st down run. Here you see the same play. Running it from the other side is Warren from left to right. The defense overcommits. Warren cuts it back, gets him inside the 10. Now looking at 2nd and goal. Seeing if they can't get some of these speedy guys out in the flat. There's Chris Gunn, the freshman, puts a little slow motion spin move. And it's enough to juke out the D-back as he strolls on in for the touchdown. And Texas with a nice 28-6 advantage. Only 1.5 minutes ticking in the 3rd quarter. Time's running out for the Red Raiders. Mahomes starting to get things together, finding Dylan Cantrell for the 1st down. Now handed off to Stockton, but unfortunately for Texas Tech, the running game just not there. Justin Stockton getting stuffed by Malik Jefferson, having himself a good game so far. A couple of sacks, that forced fumble earlier, plenty of tackles as always, but not giving up. A nice pass by Mahomes to Thompson, and then following that up a few plays later. That could have been a touchdown if he would have held on to the ball, but the defense stuffs him yet again. And wouldn't you know it, the Red Raiders go for a field goal, but this time they miss. Texas gets the ball. A nice pitch out to Gunn, getting rewarded for the last touchdown. Shows that same spin move that got him there the previous drive. Armani Foreman follows it up with a reception of his own. Now across midfield, 2nd and 3, play action. Swoops, throwing it out to the flats. Chris Gunn, another juke. Look at this guy go. You just can't get the ball to him enough in space. The speedy freshman. We're excited to see what he's going to do in the years to come here as a Longhorn. But not to be forgotten, the powerful, only a sophomore. Probably going to stick around at least another year, hopefully more. Chris Warren having himself a good year. But Chris Gunn, the other Chris, number 9, punches it in, untouched. Last time from the right, this time on the left, on the run, making it 35-6. It's mostly academic at this point. It looks like the Longhorns are going to be walking out of here Big 12 champions for the 2nd year in a row. But there's a little bit of pride on the line here. The Longhorns don't want to give up a touchdown. They want to close out the season if they can with a big win against a rival on the road without giving up any points in the end zone. Holding the Red Raiders to only 2 field goals, and there is a nice sack. Caleb Blewett getting in there, getting himself another notch on that sack belt, trying to get himself in the running for some awards, which he very likely could come home with. A Nagurski, possibly a Bednarik, who knows, with the year that he's had so far, just wreaking havoc on opposing team's quarterbacks. But on this day, Malik Jefferson ended up with 2, possibly 3 sacks here, getting all kinds of pressure up the middle, leading to a 4th and goal. And Mahomes just throwing the white flag up in the air, giving up, not even taking a shot at the end zone on 4th and goal. Getting the ball back to Texas now. Not giving up are the Longhorns. With a minute left to go, there's no need to score. But when you want to end on a bang against a rival team, sometimes it's fun just to rub it in. And it's Chris Gunn one more time. 3 touchdowns on the day for the young man. 1 through the air, 2 on the ground. A 42-6 victory for Texas. Look at the advantage in the time of possession. A well-maintained game, only 1 turnover for each team. For Texas, it was a 4th down stop, was their undoing on that side of the statistics. And a nice game by Malik Jefferson and also on offense. Just a solid all-around game for many guys. Moving ahead now to Conference Championship Week. Like we said, Texas needs somebody to lose here. UTEP, you're up first, but it doesn't look like Middle Tennessee State's going to be able to do the Longhorns any help. So no luck there. Moving on down, we're going to need some help from the USC Trojans, who are going to be playing Oregon in the Pac-12 championship game. Let's see if the Trojans can hand the Ducks their first loss of the season, and it doesn't even appear to be close. Well, it looks like it might have been close through 3 quarters, but the Ducks pulled away with a 42-21 victory. And the only chance at this point is if somehow Ohio State loses and UTEP is devalued against Texas for playing a tougher schedule. But it's all a moot point as Michigan State gets throttled 19-38 by Ohio State. And so, logically thinking, practically speaking, it doesn't look like Texas is going to get a shot at the national championship, but we'll take a look here in just a moment. Yep, and there it is. The Fiesta Bowl is come knocking for the Texas Longhorns, who finished the regular season ranked number 4 as Big 12 champs. And there it is with Caleb Blewett. He does bring home the Bednarik Award. Along with that, the Nagurski Trophy. And the Lombardi Award. The best lineman, the best defensive player, the best everything on defense. A great year for Blewett. Chris Warren finished top 5 in the Heisman. Not a bad showing there. Check back soon for the next and final episode of Season 2. We'll see you then.